Guys, I can read. I know, very impressive. And how did I choose to use this skill as a kid? By reading a whole lot of graphic novels. Books like Captain Underpants, Dogman, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, that kind of stuff. I used to eat this up as an 8-year-old. Some of my favorite books were the Big Nate ones. Whether it was the graphic novels or the books, I loved this franchise. I even had the posters that used to come in the back of the books. Why don't they do that anymore? That was cool.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. Anyway, all of these books had some things in common, and a few of them are that they are fun to read, and they don't educate you, and that I chose to read them. But that's not always the case. Sometimes you have.
It's not very good at all.
Required reading always sucks. Even if you get a good book, you usually have to do an assignment to go along with it. But sometimes you get a really boring book. And even if you don't have to do an assignment, you usually have a deadline. I like reading, but only if I choose to do it. If I'm forced to do it, then it's no longer fun. One good thing that came from required reading for me was discovering my new favorite author. The first book that my English class read for required reading was a book called Refugee, and once we finished it, I didn't think much of it. Yeah, I thought it was good, but that's really all. Later in the year, we had to choose a book to read over 14 days and answer some questions on it. The book I chose was Ground Zero, written by the same author as Refugee, Alan Gratz, and I just fell in love with his writing style. After I finished Ground Zero, I picked up another book of his called Grenade, and guys, I am not lying when I tell you that this is my new favorite book. It is so good.
It couldn't have been that good.
Trust me, it is. And if you don't believe me, I suggest you to go read it yourself. It is really good. When I was younger, during the summer, I would go to a camp that I did not enjoy. They didn't allow you to bring much, and it was also a daycare, so from 11 to 3:30, it was nap time, which meant you couldn't do anything but nap or read. Sometimes I would choose to nap, but most of the time I would read. I always brought the 10 Scary Stories or 10 Creepiest Places books from the 90s, and I have so many good memories of reading those books than not being able to sleep the next night. In conclusion, required reading sucks, that summer camp was boring, and I can still read.